Shouting?
Yeah, I was shouting. When I talked to him April 5th, my wife Elsa is listening because it's on the speakerphone, and after it's over, she said, "You're shouting at the president." And not only that, she said to me, it sounds like you're telling him what to do. And
because that's what it read like. It read like you were advising him, but you're saying you were questioning him.
See, this is the nature of the relationship I developed with him, where I could push him, he would push me. And I think it's very clear that, at least for me, emotionally, quite frankly, I never had an experience like this.
Do you feel you had any additional insights into his character that weren't out there publicly?
Do you have an hour? I mean, first of all, he wanted to be pushed. He wanted somebody to come back at him when he said something.
On Larry King's show in 1996, you said that one of the reasons sources talk to you is because they'll know you'll, quote, reflect their point of view. You said, quote, essentially I write self-portraits. Now, obviously, I know this. Every source I deal with, every source you deal with is self-serving to some degree, right? We know that. How do you handle the criticism that you give sources an easy ride in exchange for information? That if I leak to Bob Woodward, I might come out looking like a hero.
Name a source I gave favorable treatment to.
Like in the book, you portray the former Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson, as one of the, I would say he's one of the heroes of the narrative, or one of the good guys, together with James Mattis and Dan Coates. You portray Tillerson as somebody who is motivated by the highest ideals of public service, who is trying to protect American diplomacy, and, you know, sort of had this period of gradual disillusionment with Trump.
But I also explain, as you note in the book, how many people in the State Department thought he was doing a terrible job.
Well, there was there was sort of a very short aside on that, but I sort of looked at it more as, you know, here's a guy in his late 60s who ran an oil company, who voted for Trump after Trump, you know, promised a Muslim ban and all sorts of things. He comes in and says, we can have a better relationship with Russia after Russia attacks the democracy. And pretty much everyone I talked to in real time thought he was horrendous at the State Department, like was not protecting, he was gutting the State Department, isolated on the top floor. Like, does he really deserve to be one of the good guys?
Everyone is a mixed bag. And what I'm doing in the Tillerson portrait is telling things about his interaction with Trump, which is really essential. But I don't leave out the problem he had with the State Department. I'm trying to give what I call a total universe portrait of Trump.
It was already a tumultuous election season, but we're now looking at what's going to be a very brutal fight to replace Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the court. Not only have you been around Washington for a long time reporting, you've written about the court. What are you thinking about as it relates to this seat?
It's a delicate orchestration for the country, and now we have, as I say about Trump, it's not an orchestra, it's a one-man band. And he sees political pluses in putting somebody in the court.
There's some scenes in the book where the president's boasting about judges. Do you get the sense from your conversations with him that he cares at all about the product of the court, or what happens as a consequence of the court?
You know, I don't. He's just 300 judges, Bob, 216 or something like that. Of course, he exaggerates that. He's always taking an extra squeeze.
But do you think he cares about the ideological consequences?
I didn't ask him about that. What really hit me was he was going on and on about it. And I finally said to him, I said, you know, they're going to erect a statue of you outside the Supreme Court. And he said, oh, that's such a good idea. I'll do it tomorrow.
You've said in the past that as a matter of journalistic objectivity, you don't vote in presidential elections. Given your reporting on Trump and that you said that he's the wrong man for the job, will you be reconsidering this stance this November?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I'll decide that November 3rd.